Hello everybody, my name is Samuel Carter. Welcome to my Livefront talk where I'll be discussing some tips to help you nail your next video interview. Thanks for joining me. The video interview has become the new norm in many company hiring processes with the unexpected shift due to the global pandemic. There's both upsides and downsides to this. Candidates are now open to pursue a plethora of opportunities and locations they may not have been able to in the past. On the flip side, in-person interviews have become more scarce, and the changing of the guard means there are adjustments you may want to make to your approach to put your best virtual foot forward. I've broken up the art of the video interview into 3 main steps. The first step is to get your mind right. This step is all about setting the stage for success with research and preparation. The second step is to get your video act together by optimizing your on-camera environment and making sure that everything is ready to go from a technical standpoint. The third and last step is to act like you've been there, which insinuates delivering with confidence and connecting with your interviewer. No matter how nervous you may seem, who can tell your story better than you? I'll expand on all 3 of these main topics as we go along. We'll be covering what materials you should have on hand during the interview, the best way to prepare for it, and how to make your best impression on camera. Then we'll move on and discuss how to form a genuine connection with your interviewer and show that you have the interpersonal skills as well as the technical skills to make you a good fit for the company. Let's start with how to get your mind right through research and preparation. Taking the time to research before your interview is a confidence booster because it prepares you to answer questions about what drew you to the company and why you believe you are the right candidate for the job. An easy place to start with is the company's website. The company website may showcase its most successful products and case studies or highlight the services it provides. It's helpful to utilize additional platforms such as LinkedIn and Medium to provide additional context and updates around the recent work the company is doing. Being up to date about the work the company is doing will also help you prepare better answers to standard interview questions about what drew you to the company, rather than just telling the recruiter how much you resonate with the role or company. It's more effective to show them and tell them why. You should also consider whether the company culture aligns with your values and if it would be an ideal fit for you. Does the company participate or have a presence in the community? How important is that to you? What does the team you are joining look like? Can you see yourself working with this group of people? Do you feel that it offers a diverse environment to learn and grow? What about employee turnover? Have you utilized platforms like Fishbowl and Glassdoor to see what the consensus is amongst ex-employees? Pre-interview research allows a candidate to formulate purposeful and relevant questions. You shouldn't ask questions that can be answered in a few seconds by a Google search. For example, asking where the company office is located or how long the company has been around creates a negative impression because it shows that you made little effort to find that information. Instead, ask questions that are objective, purposeful, questions about company culture or previous case studies. Next, you want to familiarize yourself with the interviewer. If you know in advance who your interviewer will be, it's a good idea to try and learn something about that person through sources such as employee profile on the company website, social media including LinkedIn, or work published through platforms like Medium. You can use information about your interviewer's interests and achievements to forge a human connection, especially if you share hobbies or a commitment to social causes in common. The next step in preparing for a video interview involves taking into consideration the factors that make virtual interviews different from those conducted in person. The first aspect of this preparation is finding the best environment for you to take the call. Finding a well-lit space with limited distractions is crucial because it helps both you and the interviewer stay focused. Don't sit with your back to a window. Your light source should be in front of you, not behind you. Otherwise, you might end up looking either washed out or like a dark silhouette. You don't want your interview focused on trying to see you better instead of listening to what you have to say. You also want your space to be clean and distraction-free. A virtual or distraction-free background will also help your interviewer stay focused on what you're saying instead of focusing on your son's painting from art class. Another tip for ensuring a smooth video interview is to have all your relevant documents, notes, resume, questions, accessible and set up in a way that won't cause you to constantly look down or break eye contact with the interviewer. And lastly, professional appearance. Dress how you would for an in-person interview. Try to avoid any patterns or bright colors that may be distracting on camera. And yes, that also means wearing pants. At any moment, a fire alarm can go off or a neighbor may knock on the door, so make sure you don't show the interviewer your underwear brand of choice. This brings us to a 2021 Harvard Business Review study that conducted 513 video recordings of remote interviews around the world to see what made job candidates successful, one of its conclusions was that the unconscious biases are less likely to creep into the decision-making process when candidates have a clean background. The next step is to prep your tech setup. Is your device charged? Do you have a strong Wi-Fi connection? Are you familiar with the platform for the video call, whether it be Zoom, Google Meet, or Teams? Prepare for the unexpected. There may be audio issues, technical glitches, or the interviewer might be late. You may feel parched after speaking for a while and need a glass of water, but make sure you consider as many alternatives as possible. Practice beforehand to avoid speaking too fast or too slowly, and to highlight the most relevant aspects of your experience while also understanding how to best use the platform. Act like you've been there. Now it's time to execute and deliver. Video calls have some disadvantages over interviews in person. Eye contact is off, audio delays can disrupt the flow of conversation, and body language isn't as easy to read. Even when beginning the conversation, there is no handshake or standard greeting. One way to combat this is to kick things off yourself. Ask the recruiter about their weekend or if they have anything exciting coming up this week. This can help both the parties establish some common ground and make the transition into the discussion smoother. It's more difficult to form a human connection with your interviewer over video rather than in person. So it's important to be mindful of your posture and body language in addition to making eye contact to really engage with who you're speaking to. Actively listen to your interviewer's questions and give responsive answers. While you might want to jot down a few talking points, you don't want to sound scripted or fall back on pre-planned answers that don't meaningfully respond to the questions. Pause mindfully before answering questions to make sure the interviewer is finished speaking. You don't want to interrupt. Also, answer concisely. You don't want to ramble and lose the attention of whoever you're speaking with. Take any opportunity you can to show the interviewer that you are more than the sum of your skills. Yes, you are a highly skilled professional, but you may also be a parent, a chef, a hiker, a dancer, an artist, a world traveler. You get the picture. What makes you you? At the end of the day, we all want to work with people who are both at the top of their professional game and great to be around. Lastly, any questions you might have that weren't already discussed, ask questions of your own that will engage the interviewer and get the interviewer to expand on topics like communication within the team and office culture. Crossing the finish line. Once you've completed the interview, take one last opportunity to make a good impression by sending a thank you email. The email should be specific, mentioning something you learned about the interviewer or the company that resonates with you and reiterates a strong interest in the opportunity. This will also allow you to be top of mind as they're making final decisions. And to sum it up, quick recap. Get your mind right. Research and preparation to ensure you have as much context as possible on the company and the work they're doing. Getting your video act together. Let's pick a functional environment that allows us to be comfortable and do our best work while also ensuring our technical setup is working properly. And last but not least, let's act like we've been there. This is all about delivery. There's no reason to be nervous. No one knows more about your career journey thus far and can speak to it confidently, and don't second guess yourself. Hopefully some of these tips have been helpful to you and will allow you to crush your next video job interview. And regardless of the results, every no brings you closer to a yes. Thanks for joining me.